If you're with customers or you're in a sales call and while you're speaking to people, it just feels like you lack confidence or what you say just doesn't feel that great, then today we'll dive into some tips and tricks for you. The first thing I want to talk about with you today is self-care. And that might not seem like it's a relevant thing because I just said we're going to talk about communication. But if we stop for a moment and think about what does communication really mean? Communication means transmitting message, transmitting your ideas to people. The way we're acting, the way we're speaking, the words we're saying, the way we're articulating, the way we're interacting with people. If we think about it like that, then it becomes more clear to see that it's all about delivering this in a way where we can care about the value of our message and we can care about the other person, the essence of the other person, so that the other person can also receive it properly. So, if we want the other person to receive it properly and we want to take care of the other person, how are we going to do that if we don't take care of ourselves? If we don't take care of ourselves, our mindset isn't right, what our health might not be right, what we eat might not be right, we might be stressed out, we might be anxious. So if we can take care of those things first, then it's a lot easier to take care of other people. And that's really what communication is about. Second thing I want to talk about with you today is inner confidence and managing perceptions versus authenticity. You probably have noticed that while you're speaking and you're able to deliver your message in a confident way, that other people are a lot more receptive to it. Now that's great. The problem is when we start noticing that, hey, when I say this in that way, other people respond great to it. We might start to apply that way of speaking to other certain things because we want to manage their perception. We want to get a certain reaction from them. And that can work. You can get that reaction from them. But sometimes this is not authentic because you're just trying to get that reaction. You might not be doing it with the right intentions. And that's really where the danger lies. Third thing I want to talk about with you today is feeling into your communication. When you're communicating with prospects or with clients, as you are communicating, take a step back. Sort of like a meditative state. Take a bird's eye view of yourself and look down at yourself and just objectively see what you're doing. And more than seeing, feel into more than just seeing, feel into what you're experiencing, the thoughts that come up, the way you're feeling, the way you're communicating, what feels great and what feels like, there's kind of some tension, there's something that doesn't feel right. Probably is because it isn't right. And this is something you can learn from meditation. It's feeling into what's happening, becoming aware of what you're experiencing. If you're not aware of that, you won't know what to improve. You don't know what you're doing right. You don't know what you're doing wrong. And as you feel into those things, you develop knowledge. As you feel, you can start analyzing. And as you analyze, you can develop knowledge. But everything starts with feeling. If you don't feel, there's nothing to think about. If there's no experience, there's nothing to be made sense of. So make sure that first layer is working properly, that you are aware when you are communicating what feels right here, what doesn't feel right here. Become aware of that. The thoughts and the feelings as they come up, just explore them. experience them, feel into them. Once you do that, you will have a better sense. And once you have that sense, then you can start thinking about it. Well, that feels like that. Okay, well, how exactly does that feel? I just communicated in this way. That doesn't feel right to me. Why doesn't that feel right to me? It feels like it feels like I'm not being confident enough. It feels like I'm not respecting myself. It feels like I'm not respecting the other person. It feels like the way I said that was too much. If you don't feel into that, you don't know what to improve. So become aware of that. Once you are able to do these things and improve at these things, you can take care of yourself properly. You can express yourself confidently in a way that's also authentic. And you are able to really sense and experience what's going on. You will see social situations become a lot easier to navigate. Dealing with people becomes easier and better. You will see that people start respecting you more because they see that you respect yourself more. You will have just a lot more bandwidth, free bandwidth, that when you're communicating with someone, you can think, well, how can I actually do this in a great way that also takes care of the person that I'm communicating with? And because you've developed that sense, that experience, you've developed an awareness, that will grow a gut feeling within you that you then just start knowing in these situations, if I do these things, that will probably not lead to a great outcome. But if I make these decisions in that situation, it will start to lead myself and the communication to a much better place. And that's what you're going to see if you can improve at this. But you might still face a lot of difficulties along the way. You will be tested. This is inevitable. There will be challenges and there will be obstacles. And you might feel like you really want to quit at sometimes. You might just want to quit the business. You might just want to give up on people and just do some introverted thing, just read books all day or just quit everything. But if you want to be a great communicator, you need to communicate. Nevertheless, there will be some challenges along the way. So I'll give you some tips that will help you prepare for them. So whenever you want to quit, it's important to realize that there are still things you need to do and you still need to keep going. The most important thing for you to do will be to realize that once you start activating this version of you, once you start doing these tips and these techniques, you will see that people start reacting to you in a better light. But people also test you on this. And when you're dealing with strange when you're dealing with new people, it's not, they will test you on that, but it's not as intense. The most dangerous situations are the people that know you, because when you try to become different or to improve yourself, they're not going to be used to this version of you, so they might not feel comfortable with it. And then it's important, this will place a lot of stress on you, so then you need to be able to, either get that person on your side, or if they are really not comfortable with seeing you grow, then they might not be good people to have around. You want to have people around that support you, not people that bring you down. You want to have people around that support you, not people that bring you down. So, for that, be very aware of the people that you let into your personal life. And be aware also that just people, not everyone will feel comfortable with it, and that's okay. But if they really care about you, then they will have to accept that as you become a new person, you're trying to grow, and if they are good connections, then they will eventually try to go along with that. If they don't, then they're not good connections. So that's one tip I can really give you. Be aware of the effects you're going to have on other people and that you will be tested along the way. Check out my next video on sales and communication if you enjoyed this. And if you feel like you got anything out of this, feel free to like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment. It really helps us out, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.